I think the question is always going to be quite relevant, what an actual priority now is and what not. And whatever you're approaching or doing in life is just like being departed from what you think may be important now, because you do it for a reason. There's something behind that action you do and the thing you are living in the next moment, as you are you're getting into a field of action that represents the thing you wanted in the moment before. So filtering what might be good in the next moment is quite a thing I'm always seeing myself not actually approaching, even though I know what might be a priority or not. But whenever the actual system of staying in a certain habit or approaching certain tasks again and again, because that is like the cycle of doing things, when not considering building yourself such a system, I still feel blown by many things once they just pop up. And I think a dangerous or a zone I'm always like almost not taking too seriously is the thing that certain stuff you're doing actually needs your guidance and your clarity, your plan to get after it in an efficient way. Because when not setting up your like framing in which you can progress, then how should you be able to track what's even going on? And I've seen myself being in a position where I just thought I can trust myself with knowing where I'm going with what I'm doing, knowing that this is the right direction now and I'll get this done efficiently and in a good way. But in the next moment or a few hours later, I look back on what I've done and I've seen myself being like, wow, what did happen? What did happen now? Just hours have passed by and I've done that and I've maybe completed this, but what could I've been able to do in this time? And especially when you're striving for something greater, for something you got in mind, when you have the vision, you don't want to walk into this drifting sand always again, because time's passing and it's not ending so soon, but you still want to fulfill the goals you have in mind. So not coming up with a good enough systematically personalized and adapted approach where you know that you are about to get this stuff done will just always throw you into that soup in which you are you're encapsulated and you're maybe searching this and you find that and you grasp it, you grab it, you do something with it, but you then see the next thing where you're heading towards, and you might come back because you're always stuck in that same water of that bowl of soup you are in. But you haven't made you didn't take a big enough spoon and put some of that amount that was in that bowl into a different kind of space, because you know that this is some ingredient that needs to get there and needs to be like used in another way, as your body might need something from that ingredient in that hypothetical metaphor more than something else now. Just like that it is with everything you're approaching. So not building yourself that system, I just caught myself at home as, again, even though I know or I seem to know what I'm doing and that I gotta come up with that system, and I even built myself those systems. But it's just like with every other habit you're going after, and how you're how this kind of behavioral change is getting harder once you've moved away for some time, or you suddenly got to see that there's other things you gotta do as well. So when these sort of things start to kick in, or these sort of like phases of life where you got big shifts, or you got to see something completely different, or you're being you get out of a certain way of living and look into someone or something else, or someone else's life deeper, and you open yourself up in another way, the probability to lose on certain habits, even though you thought that they've already been sunken down deep enough, is quite high. And I got to see that, even though I was approaching and working after certain habits for months, I saw that some parts in life need more dedication to keep that habit, because with a too little amount of actually building that system, the habit will just blow off at some point, when these big changes that might only be situational are coming. And I certainly don't want to lose on things I think that are great for my progress. So why should I not then do the best to keep or come up with a system that actually is sustainably maintaining what I'm trying to go after? And where I can see myself being like distanced from that vision and what I was trying to do, for example, today, was whenever you're doing something in front of a screen, because you do whatever you do, there are mostly many different kind of things you are going after, especially when you are, I'm talking in the sense where you are building something your own, where you got the idea in mind and you gotta keep track of certain things. And that keeping track of things, I think, also comes with an actual habit that lets you get back into that analytical thinking of what is on track and what is not, and what is important now, and where should I make priorities now, and how should I frame my time. Because that when you're sitting in front of an open end, because it's your responsibility to get this done, it's in your hands if it's working out in the next moment. When all this is in your hands and you're not having that framing where you see, okay, I'm dedicating that amount of time to this and that amount of time to that, then I think you lose on the actual effort it might need for something. Because when I know or calculate in before I'm doing something how much time and effort this is going to need, I have a certain, I'm concluding something in myself that hasn't been done yet, but will likely get done in that amount of time with that effort you're coming up. Because you somehow know yourself and know what you want to pursue and what you gotta come up with to get it done. And I think this is a big point I'll try to adapt to or come up more often, as I think this can make my workflows way more efficient, because when I'm like pre-calculating the thing or showing myself or like only telling myself how long this is going to take, then I'll also, when that time's over, think about how good it went, and I'll also be able to see why it may not did work out good or as I thought it would, or why it worked out as good as I thought. And when it's not working out as good as I thought, and I've had or set myself that time frame for that sort of thing, I can evaluate on why, and I can also like see what the reason may have been. Because when I like reflect on the actual behavior I came up with, and I'm zooming out of what I was doing in the last hour or so, then you are all of a sudden being able to see for yourself what you were doing. Have I been stuck with this? Have I got out of focus because of that? And therefore I just recommend using some sort of tracker for that just tracks your home, your desktop. There are many out there. I'm using Rise, RIZE. It's great. I love it when you're doing much work on a desktop, because you just set up how long you're going to work on which sort of project you set up, and yeah, it also shows you how much time of that focus time you were not focused and got distracted by other sort of sites or things. But yeah, even though I'm using this for almost a year, I had the last few days where I was not doing it. Because once you start tapping into these generalized tasks, you're going after these maintenance things. Because I was today like setting up or went to an office to set up your company like kind of thingy. I don't know how to like translate this thing. It's not, it's almost like working on your own, so bringing it out there and making it official what you're doing, even though I'm not making money with any of that. But I want to, it's another step I'm making to get more serious about what I'm doing. And coming back home and doing this bureaucratic stuff where you're sending documents here and there, it was not the thing where I thought, okay, now I'm starting the focus time, because that's not basically a thing I have to focus on. But even there I should do it. Even there it's good, and whatever you're doing, setting a time frame for that specific task is a great thing, because you're not getting lost ever. You see, okay, that's the amount of time I was spending already, and that's certainly more than I wanted to spend, because I got other stuff to do as well. So I'll better hurry up or not think too much about what I was trying to approach in that sort of situation. But yeah, it's easier said than done sometimes. But that's why I'm saying it, because things are getting easier once you start realizing. And that's a thing I'm coming back to very often, because these sort of expressions are there to be done for you as well. When whatever sort of state of life and in whatever sort of situation you are in, you can always come back to yourself and just find yourself someone where you feel good, close to them, to where you can just like open yourself up and talk about your actual feelings and get in a conversation, or just hold on to it for yourself. Because what I'm doing here is nothing else than that. I may be sharing it with you, and that's a big thing and a big motivation for me as well, to spread this out, what is in myself. But you can also just keep it for yourself and be happy about what you're doing, and write it down, or just record all your feelings and thoughts and transcript them and look back on what you were able to see. It's so many times in life, it's just reminding yourself about what the thing is you got to understand, because you had something, a spark in yourself that was showing you that you are moving in a new direction, that you got to see something else, and you want to preserve it, you want to hold on to it and not get lost in the sauce again and tap into old waters and recognize that you were already been back at the previous stage you weren't happy about, just because the habit wasn't actually being taken on its collar and being pushed out the door. Because maybe life is acceptable and maintainable to live when not even developing, and you may just find a way to wrap your head around what you're doing, and that's all right. Nobody's forcing you, nobody is telling you do this or that. It's all on yourself. But when you get this dream, when you got these things that want to like flourish in itself and build themselves up into a new sort of levels, and you're convinced that you can, or not even, you don't have to be convinced in any way as well. You can just you would just need that dream, that thing that's loading you up with energy, because you want it so badly, and it's your desperate wish and dream to just get it done. But for this, you gotta find a way to hold on to it, and that's what I was trying to say. Because that system you're building for yourself once you start doing something on your own is the number one thing that determines how fast and efficient you're about to get to what you want in life. Because no system means nothing you're actually being able to work on in a tangible manner. And system is such a word that can be looked at in such a broad way, and you might be like, okay, distanced from that specific kind of word. And I am as well, because systems can be in quite a bad thing and harming thing for oneself, even when you're someone who's spreading their mind and been all over your thoughts and your own development, and when being torn into this life of systematically societal dependencies, then things can get quite hard. But a system is just a working thing that is running on itself. And when you build your own that's running on itself, which maintains and actually makes it possible for you to live life that makes you fulfilled in the greatest way, then why not building it? So when looking back on how I tried to handle the times without a great system, with no kind of tracking, with no task management, with nothing in that regard, I was lost. Because I haven't got that, I haven't got that spark of something structurized yet. And I didn't know that it's a big necessity for things that have a certain complexity in itself and need a certain amount of self-education about that specific topic to get them internalized in myself. Because previously in life, people were telling you how to do stuff. People were showing you how to learn and get educated and where you will have to move to get this or that and whatever sort of things. But now you gotta do it for yourself when you want that thing bad enough. So that's why I was stuck so many years in a space where I just thought, oh, I don't know what to do, or where I wasn't able to understand why I'm not clear enough about what I'm actually trying to get out of life, because yeah, it wasn't tangible. But I think a dream can make things easier once you understand that you have to build it, that you have to come up with solutions to make it livable. But yeah, sometimes life plays its act on you. And just like here, at this exact moment, I was sitting here trying to make this video and I was seeing this storm incoming, the rain, but I thought I'd be faster. And yeah, sometimes you aren't. Sometimes you gotta move away to keep something up. And yeah, like or go straight into the storm where forces are lying that you may don't want to encounter, but which can show you much more about yourself and show you that it's not always that bad to just go straight into the storm. But I have some tech on myself and recording this with tech, and sometimes these dependencies of having something else that might get destroyed is not worth it. So I will save my stuff now, and yeah, I think I had to make this a little shorter today because yeah, as you can see, I wasn't able to make it in the length I desired. But yeah, that's how life is. What shall I do now? I'm enjoying it, getting wet back, and yeah. Wish you all the best and see you very soon.